Welcome to another episode of Murderess Podcast. I'm Sidney Smith with my brother, my co-host,
Jamie Kamaya.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate all the support and all the listens we got on the first episode. We know you're going to really dig our second episode as well. But before we get into today's show, let me remind you, 5 stars and a great review in Apple Podcasts. Believe it or not, this is super important and it costs you absolutely nothing. Now, I will admit, I have no reason why these stars and reviews mean so much to Apple. Almost like you don't exist on Apple Podcasts unless you're getting them.
It's pure magic. Pure magic.
Absolute magic. But you guys can help us with that magic. 5 stars and a great review on Apple Podcasts if you are listening. And I don't know why I just sound like I said Apple.
Apple.
Podcast.
Sound like I kind of did now.
All right, I'm doing it too. But that would really help us out. We would really appreciate it. So please leave us that. Also, check out our Patreon fan club. Now, you can get to that by going to our website, murderesspodcast.com, and by clicking on Patreon, it gets you right to our Patreon fan club. This Patreon fan club will absolutely help us. Your donations there will absolutely assist us with this because we have other commitments that our wife or lady in our life thinks we should be doing, like maybe helping a kid with homework or throwing the ball with a kid. And we say, no, this is much more important. So for every dollar you give us, it gives us a reason to be able to tell them back off.
I can get a tutor for my kid.
Well, yeah, that too. I was thinking maybe a 6-pack.
A 6-pack, yes. And a tutor.
And a tutor.
6-pack for the tutor.
Just to run down a little bit of business before we get into the banter, if you will, and into the actual story. A monthly donation of $3 will get you our undying thanks. We will thank you to our last breath or until you stop giving us $3 a month, whichever comes first.
And that's it. That's literally it.
That's all you get. $5, a monthly donation of $5 will get you access to the additional monthly content.
Oh.
Which includes an absolutely wild story when my co-host here ran into Aaron Hernandez, formerly of the New England Patriots,
yes.
Tight end fame. He ran into him at an airport, smack in the middle of his murderous escapades. You honestly have to hear it to believe it.
It'll be a fun story. It's wild. It is an absolutely wild story.
And it's one of Jamie's favorite stories to tell. So please give us $5 so he can tell this story so I don't have to hear it again. With the monthly donation of $10, you will get additional content as well. Plus, you're going to get that 8x11 selfie autographed by us, Jamie, and myself.
That's a selfie of me and Aaron Hernandez that I took with him on said escapade.
Yes. We're going to make. I mean, who out there who is not a fan of true crime and murder and murderesses and all those different things would not want a picture of an infamous murderer, a serial killer, in fact.
With yours truly, I'm lucky to be alive.
You are so lucky to be alive, but I don't think he killed any white people, so I don't know if it's so much luck as you just weren't part of his demographic.
No, he has a certain target.
Yeah, I don't think short white guys from Boston was it. Honestly, the selfie is the least fascinating part of this story, so make sure you check that out. And then for $20 a month, for $25 a month, you will get more of that additional content, as well as the selfie, a t-shirt with our logo on it. A lot of cool stuff we have for you at the Patreon fan club. So check us out. You can find the link to Patreon on our website. Once again, murderesspodcast.com, as well as other links to get to other episodes as well. So check us out. We would definitely appreciate you. Jay, we were talking. First of all, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a couple of days. What you been up to?
Oh, not a lot. Just the other job, trying to do homework with my kid. He's in 7th grade. I can no longer do homework with him. It's past my skill set.
Well, my wife is a teacher, and she teaches 4th grade. And so the math that they're teaching the 4th graders, I look at, and why did you guys have to change how you do the formulas?
Oh, it's the new math. The new math is...
Which I always thought never really existed.
No, it's real. It's
right.
Out there. It's
every kid out there who grew up trying to get their parents to help them with their math homework. The parents always said the same thing. I can't help you with this.
I can get you the right answer, just not that way.
No. What was that? But I guess maybe in the black community it was different. It was. I can't help you with that. That must be some of that new math. And so as a kid, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about new math? But if you get to be old enough, you can see, oh yeah, they do change shit into new math.
Yeah, they just make it. It's supposed to teach them to think in different ways, which I'm not against, but it's math. Like, it doesn't change.
I think it's bullshit. I tell my wife, again, who's a teacher, I tell all the time, I said, I think someone out there just has to justify their position at work. So they're sitting in some closet somewhere trying to find different ways for people to come up and say 2 times 2 equals 4. Just a different way to do it.
Hey, I know what you're doing. Work completely fine, but hey, I got a completely different way. It's longer. It's more tiresome, cumbersome, but hey, it'll get you to the same place.
Well, you know what? Women can probably relate to that because it's probably much like a man who wants to add new things in the bedroom. And she's like, look, let me just do what I normally do.
It was working fine.
Right. Get this over with. No, we don't need any of your jams and jellies. Put that shit, take that shit out.
Who doesn't like chocolate?
Who does? That's what I'm saying. Hear me, Playboy. Who doesn't like a little chocolate?
White chocolate, right here.
Okay, enough of that. Now, earlier we were talking about how long we've been friends and playing basketball. And what you tell that story again? What did you say? Because I completely forgot about this.
Oh, we were talking about how you were a point guard. And I said I was a point guard in junior high school, but then I became a shooting guard in high school. And I grew early. And then once everyone grew past me, that was it. I didn't play my senior year. But I remember a few years ago, some friends of ours, we were playing in the gym. And I walk in. I hadn't shot a basketball in, 10 years. And I'm walking in and I'm probably 5 feet past the 3-point line. And the ball just comes rolling over me. So I pick it up and I'm like, I used to be a shooter. I'm cold. And I heave the thing up. And it's dead on. I'm walking away, like putting my finger up like Larry Bird in the 3-point contest. It was dead on. It was about 4 feet short. Came down and cracked the dude in the head who was waiting under the hoop.
You're walking away with your finger. You
like Larry Bird. Come on, that's my guy.
You completely turned around from
no,
the shot?
I put my finger and I'm watching out of this corner of my eye, and it was so short. It was awful. And the guy looked at me like I whipped the ball off his head.
For anyone out there who's young, Larry Bird was one of the greatest players that ever played. And if you go back and find some grainy footage, you can see exactly how good he was back in the 80s.
Larry Bird 3-point contest.
Yeah. Really good. Just YouTube it. I mean, you're going to be partially blind by the time. That's the one thing when I see some of this old footage on YouTube, I'm like, how are we not all wearing glasses as small children?
Yeah, no kidding.
This is the worst. There's few things I thank technology for, but high definition television is one of them. I'm like, I don't know how we watch TV like this.
Oh, when you're watching a TV show and like the internet kind of bogs down for a second, it goes from high definition to standard definition. And it's like, oh my God, it's like Little House on the Prairie all over again. Like I'm like, I can't even make out what's on the screen. I don't know how we did it.
Become the biggest babies in the world when you have to watch things at record.
I'm on the phone with the cable company, like, what is going on?
I can't live like this. I can't live under these conditions.
It's okay for the peasants, but
right. Not for me. I pay you a lot of money for this shit not to work.
And we do. That is the truth. Cable ain't cheap, man.
I tell you what I really get upset about is as much as I pay Verizon to have them ever drop a call. I'm like, for you to, and let me be the first to say Verizon, I believe to be the best provider out there as far as service goes.
Yeah, you get what you pay for with cell phones.
But for what I pay, I should be able to dig a hole 6 feet deep and lay in it. And I should still be able to get service in that hole.
And you get buried alive, you should still be able to call 911.
Absolutely. Who's going to test that out? I'm not testing.
I'll ping you my location.
Now, but you told me that you asked me what position I play in basketball, and I don't. And I said what?
I asked you, and you said I was a point guard. And I said, you said you were a point guard. I said, yeah, I figured that. You're like, how'd you know? I go, you're a control freak.
Which I am not.
You are absolutely a control freak.
When? How so? How so am I a control freak? Because I like things done a certain way?
Yes, absolutely.
That doesn't make me a control freak. That makes me a person who understands what quality is.
Well, what about that? No, shut up.
I'll
give you your opinion if I want it.
I've never said that to you. Actually, this is our second venture together. And I think I've been pretty open to your opinions on both instances.
Well, I'd be crazy not to, right?
I'd be crazy too.
I ooze confidence.
But you know what? For people out there who understand what I'm getting ready to say, you want something done, and there's not enough people out there you can even entrust it to, because people will half-ass anything, even if you're paying them. Employers understand, supervisors out there understand. You can be giving someone a check every 2 weeks and people will still half-ass their job.
I just treat you like a girlfriend. I choose my battles and say, you know what? That's not worth fighting over. Let's do it.
Oh, I can see while I was over here speaking, the hamster running through your head. And this is what you were waiting to say.
I've been waiting for 10 years to say this.
You treat me like a girlfriend and pick your battles. What you say you do. Oh, man, that's terrible. That's terrible. What you would do.
But we're still here. We're still here going strong.
We are. But because I think we understand one another's strengths and weaknesses.
Yep.
I know that you are not a person who's timely. So I have to give you deadlines. And then,
but it's weird because I didn't come from a family like that. My father was the guy who would stand at the door looking at his watch like we're supposed to be somewhere.
That's me.
And I just I want to be that person. I really do.
How come you're not?
I just feel like I can get anywhere in this valley in 5 minutes.
But you can't.
And no, I know I can't. And I don't know why I convince myself of that every time I get in my car.
Okay, so here's my question to you. Were you that way like your dad? Were you similar to your dad when you were back east still living in Boston? Or were you that way your entire life since you've been an adult?
Well, I mean, when I lived under his roof. And if I was going somewhere with him, I was on time. I mean, going through college and all that, I was, you had to be time. Professors wouldn't let you in the class if you were late. But
really?
Yeah, I mean, I had professors. I walked in 2 minutes late. He threw me out. I was like, all right, dick.
I never went through that.
Drop your ass.
So I had the opposite of an upbringing. My mother's late for anything and everything. Like you could set your alarm on your watch that she was going to be late at least an hour for whatever time she said she's going to be there.
Yeah, and I may be late to you. But like now that I date a Mexican woman and, most of the people I hang out with, Mexican, it's all her family. She's got a big family. And you want them there at 7, you got to tell them 4. That's just the way it is. I've gotten used to it. So I show up at 5 and they're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, you said 4.
But it's crazy because it's one of those things that people say about other cultures and people get upset because, oh my God, you're stereotyping. But
oh no, they don't get upset about it. They're like, no, that's true. That's absolutely the way we are.
Right. And you will have the same thing with some black people. And then but most Caucasian people I've come into contact with, if it's something to do with business, they're normally on time. There's a couple out there who I don't want to name them who could never be on time for a meeting, but more often than not, they're on time. And I think it's a cultural thing.
Well, I'm usually on time with you though. This Caucasian's on time.
Yeah. You're
terrified of that battle.
No, yeah, because we have a different. I don't even know how I would even put this. We're recording. I don't want to say anything to offend or anything, but we just have a different dynamic, I think. But most people who do things with me, whether personally or professionally, show up on time because they know how I am about things.
Well, that's what it is. It's kind of go with the person that you're involved with there. It's like, I know how you are. If I'm on your comedy show, I know I'm not going to be late. I'm trying to get my girlfriend out the door. I'm like, come on, I'm like tapping my phone because I don't wear a watch. But come on, this is Sidney show. We can't be late.
Or whatever. And I'm not that bad. I mean, normally I want people to a show at least a half an hour early. If they're a couple minutes late, fine. But I've had comics who don't show up at all, no call, no show. And then I get some weird message the next day. I got arrested and then I was driving on a dirty license. And I don't want to hear your bullshit. I don't want to hear nothing.
Take an Uber.
Do whatever you got to do, or you could have called or had someone call, or anything could have happened. But yeah, I have no tolerance for people who are things happen, but that habitually late person, I just can't do it.
No, it gets annoying. I know what you mean. Especially, I mean, you have a lot of projects that go on, and your timing is more important to you. I think I work from home, so I can kind of skate by in certain things.
That's true because things do have to sync up for me. So yeah, I completely get that. But I'm glad we're doing this project together, and so far so good. We're only 2 episodes in, but so far so good.
Well, let's not jinx it.
I mean, I don't want to ruin 10 years of friendship over this podcast, but let me tell you something. You dip into my candy bowl one more time, we're gonna have a problem.
Well, you're gonna put a candy bowl in front of me. What do you think's gonna happen?
I didn't put it there. The wife got a gift from her principal, and for some reason I don't know who, but it came from her principal and from her assistant principal. It's a great mug. So if Zakina, if you're out there listening. It's a great mug. Has a great.
We're out of the Reese's,
but they put the candy in there, and she comes and she just dumps it on my desk, and I'm like, "Why are you dumping it on my desk?" She says, "Because I don't need it anywhere around me because I'm going to eat it."
She's like, "Jamie will be over. He'll eat it."
So I'm like, "Well, get a bowl at least." And she goes and she gets a bowl, and so now I have a bowl of candy here. And yes, thank God, Jamie, because it should be damn near over with and out by the time he leaves.
It should be. That's the plan. Although you scolded me when I first stuck my hand in it.
Well, because you came over here and you COVID coughed.
I COVID cough. I don't COVID cough. I just coughed.
First thing you did, you walk.
Coughing is now illegal.
Oh, that would be so great. Dr. Fauci can be the judge and executioner on everyone who coughs.
Just handing out tickets.
Coughing. Well, you got to go.
You can go to the online school and it won't hit your insurance.
What would that class look like?
They just fill a room with smoke and you can't cough or they crack you with a stick.
You just sitting there holding your breath just right. I remember that in boot camp, they tear gassed you. And so they would take you in 10 or 15, I don't remember how many guys at a time. You had to sit down in this room. And then you just sat and they gave you a gas mask. And you had your gas mask on. And then they just hit the room with tear gas. And then when they told you to, went around to each person one at a time. You had to take your gas mask off. And then you had to say your social security number while trying not to. And so everyone in this room, all of us kids, 17 and 19 years old, we all think we're going to be able to beat this tear gas. So you're in there, you try to hold your breath and say your social. And it kills you. You're running out of the room. And just a bunch of dudes on the other side of this room, some puking up their guts.
I can't even imagine that.
Oh, stuff, tears pouring out of your eyes.
I've been pepper sprayed by a cop and it wasn't even directly at me. It was like at a few of us.
Who would pepper spray a nice...
I was like, I don't know. I was in high school and there was a party. A fight broke out. The cops came in and just started pepper spraying everyone. And he aimed it right at me. He was maybe 6-7 feet away.
Yeah.
And it got in my eyes, it got in my nose. I'm like, this is it. Tell my mom I love her.
It's over.
And I'm like, I can't even imagine tear gas.
Oh, it's tear gas. Yeah. It is the worst thing. That's why I always say I could not be. There's several reasons I couldn't be a criminal. But one of them, if I was in a hot situation, the minute I hear them say tear gas, that's it. I'm out, fellas. See you on the other side. I'm out of here.
Yeah, the service isn't for me.
I am the first one going to prison. I'm going to go ahead. Yes, I'm going to tell your mother about everything you did. Yes, I'm sorry. I will hold no secrets on the way out. I'll never see you again because I will be in protective custody in prison.
I would have been there just trying to remember everyone's social security number. Like, I got your credit now, motherfucker.
Such a Kennedy move. Such a Kennedy. Oh my God. For everyone out there who doesn't know, the Kennedys, while a fine family in some circles, I'm sure, they made all that money illegally. So here you are.
Entrepreneurs, man, during the 30s, right? The Kennedy boys, I think it was Joe Kennedy, had them putting out, little nips around their belt under their shirt.
Yeah. What's the difference?
Can't hate on that.
What's the difference between this businessman and this felon? Just a few laws.
Just a few laws.
Just a few laws. Well, speaking of laws, we got a good story. I really been waiting to do this one because I think this might be one of my early favorites. And when I say early favorites, I mean because we only have two.
Yes.
And I knew
top two.
And I knew nothing about this woman. So I found it very intriguing. I was talking to you a little bit while I was doing some research on it. I was like, dude, this woman, she lived a life. And I keep calling this woman, but Katherine Mary Knight is her name. But she lived a life, man, and went through a lot of things. And the way it just ended for her, we'll talk about it, but I could kind of see it coming, I felt like, while I was doing the research. But the life of Katherine Mary Knight begins October 24th, 1955. And like us all, you don't know where life will take you. So I'm sure she had no idea of the path she would be on. I mean, I never knew I would be doing a podcast with my good buddy here. So she had no idea she would be where she was at. Her family history had a pretty rough start in the town of Aberdeen in New South Wales. Her mother, Barbara Ruffin, was forced to get on the move after the world discovered she's having an affair with her husband, Jack Ruffin's co-worker,
that'll do
Ken Knight. See, already you can see the difference of the last names here. But yeah, she's having an affair with her husband. Look, man, I'll accept a lot of things, but having an affair with my coworker is not one of them. And neither would this town. So the crazy thing here is that both the Ruffin and the Knight families were well known in their hometown. And this town was super conservative. So I'm sure any sex outside of the marriage, everybody was like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean,
where's this from? Wales?
Yeah. They're going to Wales, Australia. Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
But these two decided to kick it up a notch when one married a spouse to fuck the other's coworker. So that just take it up another notch. Not only are you stepping out on your spouse in a very conservative town, you're doing it with your spouse's coworker.
I'd be bitter too. I'd just be in a meeting with that guy going through the minutes that I took. Got the contracts out of the way. Oh, and John, you could stop fucking my wife. That'd be great.
Well, I'd be super petty. I'd be glad you said the minutes. I'd go back through all the minutes of every meeting to see where he lied, where did he screw up, and bring them all back up at the next meeting. That was what's on the record in the meeting in the minutes. Would you stand up and do it?
Oh, I'd stand up and just be like, as we discussed, there'll be no more fucking other spouses, will there? And those contracts, I do.
He stands up and says, I didn't see that in the fucking handbook anywhere. So oddly enough, the two older kids stayed with the father. So again, I can kind of get that. While the two youngest were sent to live with their aunt in Sydney. Now, I get the older kids staying with the dad, like I said. I don't think I'd want to go with my cheating, embarrassing mother either. But why did the younger kids move to Sydney with the aunt?
It's a good question. Australia's a nice place, isn't it? I got nothing else.
It is, but I didn't understand why she didn't have her kids. But I digress. Katherine Knight was the younger of the twins born to Barbara and her lover. And turned de facto partner Ken on October 24th, 1955 in Tenterfield, New South Wales. 4 short years later, her ex-husband, Jack Ruffin, dies, and the two older kids move in with their mother. Just a little known fact, I found this to be kind of interesting. Barbara's grandmother was apparently an indigenous Australian from Moree area who had married an Irishman.
An Irishman, see? We make our way. We get out there.
She was proud of this fact and liked to think of her own family as Aboriginal.
Aboriginal?
Yes.
What was it, one grandparent? That makes you like 1/8.
This was kept the family secret.
That's not even enough to use the racial slang, is it?
Why you got to go to the racial slang?
I'm just curious because I can't use it, so I am always fascinated by other people who can.
Why?
I don't know. It's you want what you can't have.
You want what you can't. That doesn't sound right at all, especially in the office of the black guy. Excuse me, folks. I'm gonna lock this door here. Click, click. Don't be a witness. All right. So it's the silliest shit you've ever. You want what you can't have. Now, even though she had several siblings, Katherine was only close to her twin, which I think is to be expected. I have a couple of sets of twins in my family, and obviously they are super
really. I don't
close.
have any.
Really?
Yeah, I wish I did.
I think only people with large penises can create twins.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be me.
Yeah, so maybe not people of your ilk.
What about adequate? What'll adequate get you?
An ugly kid.
Oh, the kid's all right.
No, Jack's a good-looking kid. I would not call you adequate. But if you say you're adequate, you can only expect ugly.
So what would you call me then? You're talking like you know.
I don't like what's going on in this podcast.
Didn't know it was going to be that kind of show.
I was trying to be nice. Look what nice got me. I'm going to be the Deshaun Watson of this podcast. Complete dick. All right. Now, even though she had several siblings, Katherine was only close to her twin, which I think is to be expected. But she was also close to her uncle, Oscar Knight. His suicide in 1969 completely devastated her, and she maintains to this day that his ghost visits her. So to this day, this woman believes there's a ghost. Do you believe in ghosts?
No, I'm one of those atheists, which is odd because I went to Catholic school for 12 years. My mom's like going to be a saint. I just don't believe in any of it, I guess.
I wish you did. Then you wouldn't be wanting to use words that you shouldn't use. Now, here's one of those things that make me question: is it nature or nurture? Because in her early years of Katherine's life, her father Ken was an alcoholic who openly used violence and feared to rape her mother up to 10 times.
Oh my God!
And like any good mother would, Barbara often told her daughters all of the sordid details of her sex life. So you're a young girl, and your mother is telling
comparing notes with your kid.
She's telling the girls all of this. Her mother Barbara's telling all of this, including how much she hated sex and men. Later in life, Katherine complained to her mother that one of her partners wanted her to take part in a sex act. She couldn't. I can't speak. Excuse me, folks. Katherine complained to her mother that one of her partners wanted her to take part in a sex act she didn't want to perform. Barbara told her to put up with it and stop complaining.
I like Barbara.
Come on. You cannot like Barbara. And I know you don't like Barbara. But this has got to have some type of effect on you at that age that maybe you carry with you for the rest of your life.
I mean, we've already got 2 strikes here, and we're only a few minutes into this story. I mean, the whole abuse thing and now this.
Right. So there's a little pushback on Knight's claims that she was sexually abused by several members of her family. So she has always claimed this, and some members said, get the fuck out of here with that. It is said that it continued until she was about 11 years old. This claim is backed up by some other family members, though. So it's kind of like no one knows who's telling the truth here, at least within the family.
Right. Yeah. And it's trying to get to the bottom of something like that can get ugly.
So somehow through all of that, Katherine, by all accounts, was the pleasant girl who, wait for it, experienced uncontrollable murderous rages when responding to minor situations. But wait a minute, who's all who's all that's accounting for her being a pleasant girl? But from time to time, she experienced an uncontrollable murderous rage when responding to minor situations.
She wasn't threatening to kill me. She was really nice.
She was great. She was remembered by high school classmates as a bully who towered over smaller children. It seems like her anger went beyond just students, though. She was once injured by a teacher who felt they needed to act in self-defense. On the other end of this weird spectrum, when not pissed off, Katherine was a model student and often earned awards for her good behavior.
Yeah, that's odd. Because if you're fighting teachers, you're not typically getting awards.
Well, isn't that in your permanent record?
I don't think so. You take a swing at it. It can be on your school record. Might be on your transcript.
Did you remember that when you were a kid? One of your fearful things was like, oh my God, I don't want this to be on my permanent record.
The permanent record.
The debt. You didn't want that. But it is weird that she could be injuring teachers, or a teacher felt like he had to defend himself or herself. And then she's getting awards for her good behavior. This is like 2 different people.
Maybe like if we give her an award, she'll chill out. She won't swing at me.
Katherine left school at 15 years old and could not read or write. So she learned she learned nothing. But she gained employment as a cutter in a clothing factory. And 1 short year later, she started her dream job, quote unquote, cutting up offal. Now, if you're like me, when I was researching this, I was like, what the hell is offal? So
offal.
I found a definition for offal. Offal, also called variety meats, any of various non-muscular parts of the carcasses of beef and veal, mutton and lamb, and pork, which are either consumed directly as food or used in the production of other foods.
So she's chopping up animals.
She's chopping up animals at the local slaughterhouse. When I read this, I said, oh, that sounds like probably what they use for hot dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Was offal the word?
Keep chopping until we can get in this little tube.
And I have to believe it was her dream job because she was quickly promoted to boning and given her own set of butcher knives.
Oh.
Yeah, not that kind of boning.
I got you.
All right. She was quickly promoted to boning and given her own set of butcher knives. You're going to love this. Which she hung over her bed so that they would always be handy if I needed them.
Uh-huh.
So let me go back and say this again for you folks out there who may be driving in your car. Which she hung over her bed so that they, quote unquote, would always be handy if I needed them. A strange habit to begin, but even stranger when you hear that she did this wherever she lived until she was incarcerated.
Wow. That's see, now those are, I would see this one and be like, you know what? I'm not having any battles with you. You win.
Now, I don't want to give anything away, but this woman does eventually have her own family and has lovers. And so we're going to get into all that. But that is the one thing I thought about too, Jay, is who the hell? No, what? What's this? What?
Why is there a cleaver over the bed? Ask your mother.
What, Mom? Mom, what? I'm out of here, dude. I'm not sleeping with this woman. How do you? But you know what? We are people with penises. So I think we talked about this last
At some
week.
point, we stopped thinking.
Yes, completely.
Logically.
Yeah, there's some knives over there. But, this could be risky, but this could be freaky too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. I take back what I said previously. So she slept, knives or hung over bed. In 1973, 3 years after leaving high school, Katherine first met her hard-drinking coworker, David Stanford Kellett, and completely dominated him. If Kellett got into a fight at the hotel, Knight would step in and back him up with her fist.
Right on.
In Aberdeen, she was renowned for offering armed combat to anyone who upset her.
Damn.
Yeah. She's a beast, man.
I dig this lady.
You're into this?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a very combative person, so I kind of need someone like that on my side.
This is true. Knight married Kellett in 1974 at her request, with the couple arriving at the service on her motorcycle with a very intoxicated Kellett on the pillion. As soon
The
as
husband was in the little side cart?
yeah, no, on the back.
On the back.
Pillion. Oh. Pillion is that cushion. That's the name for that cushion. For this,
see what I know.
As some people here in America would call the bitch seat.
That's
where he was. As soon as they arrived, Knight's mother, Barbara, now let's remember Barbara. Barbara's the one who hates men, hates sex, was telling Katherine and her sisters all about her sex life with the husband who was raping her up to 10 times a day. So, as soon as they arrived, Knight's mother, Barbara, gave Kellett some advice. Quote, "The old girl said to me, watch out. You better watch this one or she'll fucking kill you. Stir her up the wrong way or do the wrong thing and you're fucked. Don't ever think of playing up on her. She'll fucking kill you." And that's her mother talking.
Bob pulls no punches. I'm just going to call her Bob.
She told me.
We're friends.
Yeah, Bob. She told me she's got something loose. She's got a screw loose somewhere. Close quote. This is your future mother-in-law telling you, warning you. Now, sidebar. I can kind of speak to this because I dated a woman several years back. And her mother used to say all kind of sideways shit about her whenever she was not in the room. And me, with my relationship in my family, and we're tight in my family to the point where we don't talk shit. And I think I always believe most families were that way. Like, you would be hard pressed to find someone in my immediate family who would tell you anything negative about me, even if they believed it.
Yeah, the older you get, the more defensive you get, I think, for your family members.
We were just raised that way. So when this ex-girlfriend's mother was telling me these things, I'm like, you're a real bitch, is what I was thinking. Come to find out, she was a real bitch, but she was right about everything she was saying about her daughter.
Maybe if she just worded it differently.
She'd given me a written letter out of the statement, I'd have been better about it. But to this point, if you're out there listening, if the parents are, God, unless you just had some crazy falling out with the parents, if they're coming to you without being asked and giving you advice, you should probably heed that advice.
Oh, that they just got in a fight. She probably asked her for money and was like, nah.
Okay. I don't think this is what this is. Barb asked for 20. She said no.
I'll show her.
All right. So it goes on and says, and he quickly found out that the old girl, Barbara, wasn't lying. Because on their wedding night, she tried to strangle him because he was only able to fuck her 3 times and then fell asleep.
3 times? That's all he could do?
That was that's all he could do.
I'd be a dead man. 3 in one night?
And that was just his introduction to what the rest of this marriage would look like. A super duper pregnant Knight burned all of Kellett's clothing and shoes before cracking his ass in the head with a frying pan.
Huh. It's really not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing.
I don't know why either.
I didn't know where that was going.
You're a terrible person. Why did she hit him, you might ask? Because he arrived home late after throwing darts and making the finals in his league.
Oh.
Good.
Pan over the head is a little excessive.
A lot excessive. I don't know anyone who's ever gotten hit in the head with a pan, though. That's first time for anything, I guess.
She's getting it 3 times a night. I don't know why you're going to be cracking anyone with a pan.
And she's pregnant. What is he supposed to do with the pregnant woman who's hitting him in the head with a pan? You can't do anything with that.
No, of course not.
The first smart thing he did in years was running to his neighbor's house for help after he got hit in the head with that pan. He ended up collapsing there and was treated for a skull fracture.
God damn.
She hit him pretty good. She must have really knocked something loose in his head because when the police wanted to charge her, she managed to talk Kellett into dropping the charges.
Oh, well, she loves me.
The idiot. In May 1976, shortly after the birth of their first child, Melissa Ann, Kellett left her for another woman and moved to Queensland.
Oh, yeah, you got to move far.
Apparently unable to cope with Knight's possessive, violent behavior. The next day, Knight was seen pushing her new baby in a pram down Main Street, violently throwing the baby carriage from side to side. Quickly thereafter, Knight was admitted to a hospital and was diagnosed with postnatal depression and spent several weeks recovering. After being released, Knight placed 2-month-old Melissa on a railway line.
What?
Yes. Shortly before the train was due. Then stole an axe, went into town, and threatened to kill several people. A man known in the district as Old Ted, who was hanging out near the railway.
Old Ted.
Old Ted. who was known hanging out near the railway line, found and rescued their daughter, Melissa. By all accounts, only minutes before the train passed. Knight was arrested and again taken to St. Elmo's Hospital, but apparently recovered. Signed herself out the following day. What do you mean signed herself out?
Well, yeah, who allowed that?
What if think old Ted was known as good old Ted after he found his
Good
baby?
old Ted. Good old Ted, the baby saver.
Only a few short days later, Katherine slashed the face of a woman with one of those knives she kept hanging above her bed. She demanded she drive her to Queensland so that she could find Kelly.
Were they both in the bedroom? Oh, she traveling with this set.
She traveled. Have knives will travel. So she was traveling with it. She demanded she drive her to Queensland so that she could find Kelly. The woman was smart enough to escape as soon as they stopped at a gas station. But by the time the police arrived, Knight had already taken the little boy hostage.
Oh, my God. This woman's on a roll.
And was threatening him with the knife. She was disarmed when police attacked her with brooms.
Wait, who attacked who with the broom?
I'm sorry. The police attacked her with brooms.
So the police got brooms.
She did with the real weapon?
Like, did they jab her with the stick end?
I don't know.
Or did they slap her around with the bristles?
I don't know. I'm just sitting here thinking, when I was researching this, I'm like, wait a minute. She's the only one with a real weapon in this situation. And it doesn't say broom. It says brooms. So
brooms.
Did they show up with
like dual brooms?
With a bushel of brooms ready to go?
It's Katherine again. Get the brooms.
She was disarmed when police attacked her with brooms. And she was admitted to Morisset Psychiatric Hospital. Excuse me. Knight was so honest with the nurses. She told them she had intended to kill the mechanic at the service station because he had repaired Kellett's car, which had allowed him to leave, and then kill both her husband and his mother when she arrived in Queensland. When Kellett heard from the police about this incident, he left his girlfriend, and along with his mother, they both moved to Aberdeen to support her.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. And he brought his mother with him.
Oh. You know, I don't even know where to go. I'm speechless for once in my life.
Are you speechless?
Yeah, what guy? She must have been something under those knives.
Under those knives. Giving them the business.
Oh.
Knight was released again, this time into the care of her mother-in-law.
Okay. I don't even know why she would be released. But I'm sorry, go on. Because at this point, with what's gone on with the children, she should be getting help for a long, long time.
Yes, absolutely. So Knight was released again, this time into the care of her mother-in-law, and along with Kellett, they now moved to Woodbridge, a suburb of Brisbane. So this guy, and his mother, Catherine's mother-in-law, are now living together. He's come back with his mother, and she's released again, and now they're living together, and they moved to a suburb of Brisbane, where she obtained a job at the Denmore Meat Works in nearby Ipswich. 4 years later, on March 6, 1980, they had another daughter. Her name was Natasha Marie. In 1984, Knight left Kellett and moved in, first with her parents in Aberdeen, and then to a rented house in nearby Muswellbrook.
So she left him?
Yeah.
After what he gave up and came back?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, it's a blessing, no matter how you get it.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. Although she returned...
Rude, but a blessing.
Rude. Although she returned to work at the slaughterhouse, she injured her back the following year and went on a disability pension. No longer needing to rent accommodation close to her work, the government gave her a housing commission house in Aberdeen.
She's on the dole, as they say over in Australia.
Is that what they say over there?
You're on the dole. If you're on the government assistance, you're on the dole.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, and if you take advantage, you're a dole bludger.
How do you know this?
I just look up odd things.
The odd shit that you just...
I heard dole. Someone referenced dole before. I think it was my old roommate who was from Ireland originally, and he said something about the dole. And I said, what is the dole? And he just said it's when you're on government assistance. And if you take advantage of it, if you're on there and you don't need to be, you're a dole bludger.
You're one of those weird lifeline people. Like, you like no weird facts. Like oh my God, you're Cliff Clavin from Cheers. Yeah. Anyone out there who's a fan knows what I'm talking about. If you're not a fan,
I'm from Boston. I'm a fan.
Oh my God, get on CBS, get your app, and go check out Cheers, the show, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's crazy how the part of Cliff Clavin just grew over the life of that show. He was like just an extra almost at one point. And then they took him from that end of the bar and moved him down and set him right next to Norm. And it became a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, they were like a freaking frack of that show. And they were great.
Right, but it wasn't.
There's so many great characters on that show.
That show, I love writing scripts and whatnot. And one of the things I do love research. And so I research everything before I do it. And there's so many screenwriters out there, television writers, who believe Cheers is the perfect show. The pilot is the perfect script. The way it was written front to back. And it is such a great show. I've watched that series since, technology allows you to do anything. I've probably watched that front to back, that entire series 4 or 5 times.
Wow. But I can't blame you.
Great show. Frasier as well. I've done the same. Frasier is another great one. But I'm sorry, folks. I digress.
Modern Family, if we're talking about sitcoms, that's always my
Modern
favorite.
Family is really good too.
That's as good a writing as I've seen in a long time.
Really good. And I heard a story. Excuse me. I know I told you we were going to get back to this. I'm sorry, folks. We'll get back to it. But there is a story that I heard about the 2 showrunners of that show. And one of them is Christopher Lloyd. I can't think of who his partner is. But they don't get along to the point where only one can be the showrunner per season.
Oh, wow. That's serious.
The other one's not allowed to be on the set. So they've created this magnificent show together, but they can't showrun it together.
That's too bad. I think that it ended, didn't it?
I thought it was still going.
Oh, maybe. I thought it ended, but maybe not.
You might be right. But yeah, so Christopher Lloyd will be the showrunner and run the show for one season. And then he goes away. And I can't think of who's.
So they're probably contributing each other in the background, even when they're not running it.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. But back to our story here. So 2 short years after going at life alone, Knight met 38-year-old minor David Saunders in 1986. A few months later, he moved in with her and her 2 daughters. She's got to have these knives above the bed. What are you doing? A few months later, he moved in with her and her 2 daughters, although he kept his old apartment in Scone. Smart move.
Just in case.
Just in case. I've done that before back in my younger years. Knight soon became jealous regarding what he did when she was not around and would often throw him out. He would move back to his apartment in Scone, and then she would invariably follow and beg him to return.
Yeah, it's not really a big threat to throw someone out when they have a home to go to.
Really? You want me to leave? No problem.
I'm already gone.
I know where I'll sleep tonight. A year later, she wanted to set an example of what would happen if he cheated on her. So she cut the throat of his 2-month-old dingo pup in front of him. She then knocked him unconscious with a frying pan.
You've got to hang that next to the bed too, with the knives.
But love, why is there a frying pan hanging above your bed?
It doesn't sit flat on the stove. It's dented.
So yes, a year later, I got to say this again. A year later, she wanted to set an example. She cut the throat of his 2-month-old dingo pup.
A dingo.
In June 1988, she gave birth to her 3rd daughter, Sarah, which prompted Saunders to put a deposit on a house. Knight decorated the house throughout with animal skins, skulls, horns, rusty animal traps, leather jackets, old boots, machetes, rakes, and pitchforks.
A rake? Like there's a rake hanging on the wall?
No space, including the ceilings, was left uncovered.
Can't reach that. Get the rake. Got a perfect spot.
After an argument where she hit Saunders in the face with an iron before stabbing him in his stomach with a pair of scissors, he moved back to Scone. But when he later returned home, he found she had cut up all his clothes. How are you still here after the decorating?
Right.
You still around?
Yeah, I'm going to get ice.
Oh, we're not
never come back.
We're not the smarter of the sections, but I've said that to many an audience plenty of times. But when he later returned home, he found she had cut up all of his clothes. Saunders took long service leave and went into hiding. Smartest move he ever made. Knight tried to find him, but no one admitted to knowing where he was.
Good friends. Those are the friends you need.
Oh, the best of friends. Those are the people you actually buy Christmas gifts for. Those are the friends.
Yeah, because I know if my girlfriend comes to you and is like, "You seen Jamie?" You can be like, No. Meanwhile, I'm in your closet.
Yeah. I would. You know what? Because we got 10 years of friendship. Yes, I would do that for you. I can't say that for everybody. So if you're listening, don't come to my house. Several months later, he returned to see his daughter and found that Knight had gone to the police and told them she was afraid of him. They issued her an apprehended violence order against him.
A what?
Apprehended violence order. A restraining order.
Oh, okay.
A restraining order. She went and got one on him, even though how do You get hit in the head, stabbed in the stomach with scissors, and now the restraining
He
order.
attacked my scissors with his gut. Like, how do you pass that off?
Then this wasn't enough for her. She had to, because these situations must go on. In 1990, Knight became pregnant by a 43-year-old former coworker at the slaughterhouse, John Chillingworth, and gave birth the following year to a boy named Eric. Their relationship lasted 3 years before she left him for a man she had been having an affair with for some time, John Price.
Oh, do unto others, she's been scorned and now she's giving it back. Can't even be mad.
She's already been giving it back.
Gave it back when it was the scissors in the gut.
So John Price, as he was known, so nickname Price.
Oh, would you rather get hit in the head with a frying pan or get stabbed in the gut with scissors?
Oh, man. I think I would rather get stabbed in the gut with scissors.
Yeah, I feel like I got padding there with less penetration.
I feel like you got more that could go wrong. One thing has always been fearful for me is to not be smart. So stab me in the gut with a pair of scissors. I can figure this out. You hit me in the head and something goes loose.
Right. You could be incapacitated.
Right. I don't know what my wife's going to do to me if I can't think for myself. So I can't trust that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's always been my thing is not being smart. So yes, getting stabbed in the stomach.
I agree. You want to keep your faculties.
Yes. Faculties for you. Yeah. Anyway, John Pricey, as he was known, Price was the father of 3 children when Knight had an affair with him. So this is the guy that she cheated on, old John Chillingworth, that she'd been with for a few years.
Old John Chillingworth.
And they had a son together, Eric, just to recap really quickly. And that happened over that 3-year time frame. But she was 43 years old when she got, he was 43 when he got her pregnant. And you think he'd be old enough to know better. John Pricey Price was the father of 3 children when Knight had an affair with him. Reputedly a terrific bloke, as people thought he was. He was a guy that everybody liked. His own marriage had ended in 1988. While his 2-year-old daughter had remained with his former wife, the 2 older children lived with him. Price was well aware of Knight's father. First of all, let me stop right there. That is kind of unheard of here in America, where a couple gets divorced and some kids go with the father and some go. Normally, all the kids here, I don't know.
Especially when they're younger, they all go one side or they all go back and forth.
Right. I don't know any situations. Now, this is just my own experiences. Someone out there listening may have went through this or heard of this, but I've never have ever. If anyone out there has gone through this or heard of this, would you guys drop us a line on our website, Murdercast? Wow, what's wrong with me today? Murderous Podcast. Murderous Podcast.
I'm gonna hit you in the head with a frying pan?
I think so. Murderouspodcast.com. Go in there, scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see an area where you can either subscribe to the website or you can just send us notes. Just send us a note. Let us know about your own experiences if you went through this, if you're out there.
We enjoy the interaction.
We would. We definitely would. So Price was well aware of Knight's violent reputation, so he knew all about this. And she moved into his house in 1995. His children liked her. He was making a lot of money working in the local mines. And apart from violent arguments, at first, quote unquote, life was a bunch of roses. Apart from the violent arguments. There's no such. I don't know how people even gauge these things when you say things like that. But in 1998, they had a fight over Price's refusal to marry her. And in retaliation, Knight videotaped items he had stolen from work and sent the tape to his boss. They were just out of date. So the things he had were just out of date medical kits that he had scavenged from the company trash. But Price was fired from his job that he had held for 17 years.
Oh, man.
And so I have found in the research where the supervisor was quoted saying he didn't want to fire him. He didn't think it was a big deal, but he had no choice because these were technically items that he stole from work. That same day, he kicked her out and she returned to her own home while news of what she had done spread through the town. A few months later, Price restarted the relationship, although now he refused to allow her to move in with him. The fighting became even more frequent, and most of his friends would no longer have anything to do with him while they remained together. So at least, again...
I know people like that.
Do you?
Yeah, I've seen people just like this. So hung up on someone that they'll give up friendships over it.
I've seen that too, where you give up the friendship. I don't know if I've ever seen it where the friends wouldn't be like I'm not gonna be friends with you as long as you're with this crazy person. Have you seen that?
Yeah, like absolutely. It was the opposite. The guy was crazy, and they told the girl, the woman, I should say, to, you need to get away from this guy. It's not safe.
Right.
And she didn't. I mean, they're not together anymore. And fortunately, she was able to eventually walk away with it, but
Good.
long after she probably should have.
Right. Okay, so in February 2000, so if you're looking back, fight, refusal to get married, retaliation, videotape, so on and so forth. A few months later, so still looking probably in '98, they get back together. So about 2 years later, roughly, in February 2000, a series of assaults on Price culminated with Knight stabbing Price in the chest. Finally fed up, he kicked her. He kicked her out of his house. On February 29th, he stopped at the Scone Magistrate's Court on his way to work and took out a restraining order to keep her away from both him and his children.
February 29th, is that restraining order good for 4 years?
What's that now?
February 29th, that's an odd date.
It is an odd date. That afternoon, Price told his coworkers that if he did not come to work the next day, it would be because Knight had killed him. That is a scary, it's got to be a scary feeling to have.
Yeah, you don't go over there alone.
You got to be that kind of fear's got to be in you for you to tell coworkers and friends, if I'm not here tomorrow, something happened to me.
My first question would be like, so why are you going back there?
Well, he's going home.
That's his home, but he's afraid she'll be there?
Whatever he was afraid of. Because he's going to his own house. He's not going to her house. And so, rightly so, his co-workers/friends pleaded with him not to go home, but he told them that he believed she would kill his children if he did not.
Oh, okay. I get you now.
So Price arrived home to find that Knight, although not there herself, has sent the children away for a sleepover at a friend's house. He then hung out with his neighbors before going to bed at 11 p.m. What he didn't know, and nobody else knew either, was that earlier that night, Knight had bought a new black lingerie and had videotaped all her children while making comments, which had since been interpreted as some type of crude will. Knight later that evening arrived at Price's house while he was sleeping and sat watching TV for a few minutes before taking a shower. She then woke Price and they had sex, after which he fell asleep.
Uh-oh. So thinking things are good, I guess, at that point.
I don't know what he's thinking. You just left work. This is still all the same day and a half. You just came home from work telling your friends, yo, if you don't see me tomorrow, this crazy woman killed me. Now she's in your house.
We're not bright. We're just not bright.
You didn't even let her in. Does she still have a key? How did she get in? And now you're fucking her? And you fell back to sleep. So
can't even feel bad for the guy.
We don't want to say that, do we? Do we get into that?
Oh, fine. A little bit bad.
She then woke Price and they had sex, after which he fell asleep. At 6 a.m. the next morning, the neighbor became concerned that Price's car was still in the driveway. And when Price did not arrive at work, his employer sent the worker to see what was wrong. Both the neighbor and the worker tried knocking on Price's bedroom window to wake him, but after noticing blood on the front door, alerted police, who had arrived at 8 a.m.
Okay, now I feel bad.
The police broke down the back door and found his body, along with Knight comatose from taking a large number of pills. She had stabbed Price with the butcher's knife while he was sleeping. According to the blood evidence, and in my opinion, this was a bloodbath. This is not my opinion. He awoke and tried to turn the light on before attempting to escape while Knight chased him through the house. He managed to open the front door and get outside, but either stumbled back inside or was dragged back into the hallway, where he finally died after bleeding out. Later, Knight went into the Aberdeen and withdrew $1,000 from Price's ATM account. Price's autopsy revealed that he had been stabbed at least 37 times in both the front
37
and back of his body, with many of the wounds extending into vital organs. So these are the words from one of the detectives that was on scene, a detective Musio. He's quoted as saying, "I remember walking down the hallway, and at about shoulder height, there were all these blood splatter marks on the walls. To me, it was indicative of each attack. He's absolutely fighting for his life. The blokes just had a bonk sexual intercourse. in the bed when he wakes up.
Wait, they had a what? What do they call it?
He called it bunk.
They had a bunk?
Bunk, which is sexual.
I'll be using that.
That you didn't know. So the blokes just had a bunk, sexual intercourse.
God, I love the Australian lingo.
In the bed when he wakes up, and then stab. He's getting up. There's arterial spurting on the robe and the bed, and on the doorway. There's a bloody handprint on a swipe on the western side of the door near the dressing table, and blood around the light switch. It looks like he's tried to turn the light switch on. And then all down the hallway, there are bloody handprints everywhere. And he's almost made it. He's opened the front door. The screen door is shut. And there is blood staining, trajectory all over the place. Flicking out across the front door, he's almost made it. But he wouldn't have survived anyway. He would have been absolutely horrified, terrified, probably terrified more than horrified, trying to get out and all the time being stabbed, close quote.
Oh, that's an awful way to go.
Dude, the way he broke it down when I was reading, like I had to read it several more times. It's like, because just you're trying to envision, and I love the way he lays it out because the way he does, and that's why I try to read it word for word the way that he had been quoted, because he just lays it out. I mean, you get the entire visual of this man being stabbed, and when you think about stabbed 37 times,
yeah, that's more than enough, I would think.
Well, what I'm saying is 37 times between your bedroom to getting trying to get out that front door. That's a lot of stabbing, and you are still just trying to fight for your life to get out of there.
Right. So, I mean, he survived a lot of those.
Right, to get to that point. So, several hours after Price had died, Knight skinned him.
Oh, okay.
And hung the skin from a meat hook on the architrave of a door to the lounge room.
So just hanging his outer shell?
Yes. So
like a suit?
So let me say this again, people. Several hours after Price had died, Katherine Knight skinned him and hung the skin from a meat hook.
Like all one piece?
An autopsy revealed that the victim was dead when he was skinned. A razor-sharp knife had been inserted under his collarbone and sliced horizontally across the top of the body, from shoulder to shoulder, right under the clavicle. It was straight, clean cut, anatomically precise. Then the knife was turned and cut down the chest and over the stomach to the pubic hairline and made into a T with another straight line. Tracing the knife tip around his pubic area and careful not to cut his penis and genitals, the killer cut down the front of Price's thighs, over the knees and to his feet. The killer moved up the body, held his arms up, and cut down the back of each one and across the top of the victim's head. The killer then peeled the victim's skin off, including his head, his hair, his face, and all the down the length of the body to the feet, exposing the victim's intestines.
And I'm like picturing this as you're reading it, which is awful.
The entire skin was in one piece.
That's impressive.
Including hair, face, eyes, nose, mouth, genitalia, and complete stab holes and dripping in blood. Hanging from the S-hook in the doorway, the feet were dragging on the ground. The killer then removed the victim's head cleat at the C3-C4 junction, right at the top of the shoulders using a very sharp knife. The cut was precise and clean. The killer would have been covered in warm, sticky blood. According to the forensic pathologist, Dr. Timothy Lyons, who performed the autopsy, the whole procedure would have taken about 40 minutes.
Wow. That's a skill. That's a legitimate skill.
Well, don't forget, for her entire life, leaving school, she worked in a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, she was a bona.
Right. So she knew how to do things like this. And obviously sleeping with knives above your bed.
I kind of figured this was coming since that knife over the bed comment earlier in the show.
But we're not even finished. Or she's not. I should say she's not even finished. She then cooked parts of his body, serving up the meat with baked potato, pumpkin, zucchini, cabbage, yellow squash, and gravy in 2 settings at the dinner table, along with notes beside each plate, each having the name of one of Price's children on it.
Is she going to feed the dad to the kids?
She was preparing to serve his body parts to his kids. A third meal was thrown on the back lawn for unknown reasons, though it was speculated that Knight had attempted to eat it, but could not. And this has been put forward in support on her claim that she
chewy.
Put support of her claim that she has no memory of the crime. But yeah, she was going to.
I'm speechless again. I'm just a vision of this in my head.
It's wild. It's wild. Price's head. So Price's head was found in a pot with vegetables. The pot was still warm, estimated to be between 104 and 122 degrees Fahrenheit, indicating that the cooking had taken place in the early morning. Sometime later, Knight arranged the body with the left arm draped over an empty 1.25-liter soft drink bottle with the legs crossed.
So she posed the skinless body?
It sounds like to arrange the body with the arm, draped over an empty, I don't know why, soft drink bottle with his legs crossed.
Imagine being first on that scene.
This was claimed in court to be an act of defilement, demonstrating Knight's contempt for Price. Knight had left a handwritten note on top of a photograph of Price. Blood-stained and covered with small pieces of flesh, the note read, "Time to get you back, Jonathan, for raping my daughter. You back." That was Price's daughter. For Ross. For Little John, his son. Now play with Little John's dick, John Price.
Oh my God, this lady.
So she's wrote some note accusing him of being a pedophile.
That's probably slang. Yeah, I was going to say, that's slang for something.
Yeah, of him being the pedophile. The accusations in the note were never found to be have any grounds for it.
Right.
Despite intensive questioning, Katherine Knight denied having any recollection of what happened that night after she arrived at the house and had sex with her lover. Having recovered from her alleged suicide attempt, a week later on March 6, 2000, Katherine Knight was charged with John Price's murder at a special bedside sitting in the Maitland District Hospital psychiatric wing. So they charged her, anyway, a week later, even though she was in.
Yeah. And that's, it never should have got this far with her.
I don't think so. I'm with you. I don't know how this even happened. But
that's not making excuses for her, but come on. That happened today would be.
She went through a whole lot. But I got to just say, with the way that I was reading this when I was trying to do my research on it, it sounds like all these little towns were close together.
Yeah.
So wouldn't the story get around about this woman?
Yeah, it sounded like you mentioned one of them, knew about her past.
Yeah.
So it's.
So when it came to the trial, Knight's initial offer to plead guilty to manslaughter was rejected, and she was arraigned on February 2nd, 2001, on a charge of murdering Price, to which she entered a plea of not guilty. Her trial was initially fixed for July 23rd, 2001, but was adjourned due to her counsel's illness, and it was refixed for October 15th, 2001. When the trial began, Justice Barry O'Keefe offered the 60 jury prospects the option of being excused due to the nature of the photographic evidence. 5 of them accepted, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to sit through that.
Because you would have had to have heard about this already. You don't want to see these pics. When the witness list was read out to the prospects, several more also dropped out, after which the jury was impaneled. Knight's attorneys then spoke to the judge, who adjourned to the following day, the next morning. Knight wisely changed her plea to guilty the following day. The next morning. Yeah, Knight wisely changed her plea to guilty, and the jury was dismissed. What wasn't known before was that the justice had been advised of the plea change the day before. He had adjourned the trial and then ordered a psychiatric assessment overnight to determine if Knight understood the consequences of a guilty plea and was fit to make such a plea. Knight's legal team had planned to defend Knight by claiming amnesia and dissociation. I always feel like your client is guilty right. when it's amnesia is going.
What are our other options?
The defense.
I was sleepwalking.
A claim supported by most psychiatrists, although they did not consider her sane. No reason has ever been given for the guilty plea, and despite giving it, Knight still refused to accept responsibility for her actions. At the sentencing hearing, Knight's lawyers requested that Knight be excused to avoid hearing some of the facts, but the court wisely told them to get the fuck out of here. Not a direct quote. When Dr. Timothy Lyons took the stand and described the skinning and decapitation, now remember, this is the guy who did the autopsy. When Dr. Timothy Lyons took the stand and described the skinning and decapitation, Knight became hysterical and had to be sedated. On November 8th, Justice O'Keefe pointed out that the nature of the crime and Knight's lack of remorse required a severe penalty. He sentenced her to life imprisonment, refused to fix a non-parole period in order that her papers be marked never to be released.
They were like written right on there.
Quote unquote, never to be released. The first time that this had been imposed on a woman in Australian history.
So, wow. So first.
Yeah, so there's that. In June 2006, Knight appealed the life sentence, claiming that a penalty of life in jail without possibility of parole was too severe for the killing. Justices Peter McClellan, Michael Adams, and Megan Latham dismissed the appeal in the NSW Court of Criminal Appeal in September, with Justice McClellan writing in his judgment, quote, "This was an appalling crime almost beyond contemplation in civilized society," close quote. That's being nice.
That's certainly a court way to put it.
Yeah, very, very judicious. So now it is open to debate right now as to whether or not Katherine Knight ate parts of her lover. So people still don't know that after she cooked his head and sliced from his buttocks.
Like she gave it a try and was like, ugh.
That's what some people think. Some people think that the food that was tossed was what she tried and just couldn't eat it. So it was hard to say if all the pieces of John Price were accounted for as well. To this day, she maintains that all she recalls of that night is that they had good sex and they both climaxed.
Well, how to lay it down, John?
Then she remembers that Pricey got out of bed to go for a pee and she watched him come back into the bedroom. After that, she presumes that she fell asleep and that was that.
I could put some holes in that defense.
The general consensus of opinion, and in this case, everyone seems to have one, is that she ate part of John Price and found that she did so abhorrent that she chooses to block it out of her mind. In Mulawa Women's Correctional Center, Katherine Knight works as a cleaner in the governor's office. Although she is a good cook, it is highly unlikely she will ever get a job in the kitchen.
So she's clean, but she's in the governor's office?
She's yeah, she works as a cleaner. She's a cleaner. But that's it.
So she's still around.
Just hanging out, man. Just hanging out, just cleaning the governor's office.
You think if we wrote her a letter, she'd write back?
Oh man. Can we put your address on it?
Yeah, we need a P.O. box.
Hey everybody, don't forget this has been Murderous Podcast. Please be sure to go on to Apple Podcasts and give us 5 stars and give us a great review. Again,
more importantly, the 5 stars.
It helps us. More important than 5 stars?
No, the 5 stars is what's the most important. Okay. That's where the magic is.
All right. The magic is in the stars. So give us the 5 stars. We would super duper duper appreciate it. Be sure to check out our Patreon. Become part of our fan club by going to murderouspodcast.com. Go to our fan club page. Check it out. See what we have for you. We hope that you enjoy us. We hope that you enjoy us enough that you want to be part of the fan club for a long time. And then go ahead and click that link and I'll take you straight to the Patreon. And then you're going to get so many other goodies like we talked about before. Depending on what tier you decide you want to join, there's an 8x11 pic of Jamie Kamaya here with Aaron Hernandez that we both are going to autograph and send out to you. There's t-shirts. There's bonus content. There's so much stuff. If you love the sound of our voices, you're going to want to hear this. This is great. We're hoping after the pandemic is over, we're going to have some more great things to offer you as well. But so jump in now while you can and be a part of all. The word of the day is magic.
And we appreciate you all.
Absolutely. I've been Sidney Smith.
I'm Jamie Kamaya.
And this has been Murderous Podcast from Sidney Smith Creative. This has been episode number 2. Katherine Knight from Murderous Podcast. If you like our show, once again, don't forget those 5 stars and a review if you feel so inclined. And be sure to tell all your friends. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you're listening right now. You can also support the show once again by hitting up Patreon at Murderous Podcast. About the story you just heard, we sourced it from Murderpedia, 7 News, Film Daily, and Crime Library. See you guys next week. Remember, be aware of your surroundings.
See ya.